Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very, very well. Welcome back to another Monday lunch show at 1 p.m. Massive congratulations. I mean, you just got to go straight in there. Big congratulations to Chelsea women picking up the FA Cup. And the Ladies FA Cup champions. We have won the treble. Unbelievable. Not unbelievable, actually. I mean, very much believable. I mean, if we won the FA Cup, I'd be like, oh, my God. But it just seems to be one of those things where Chelsea women, yeah, of course they've won it again. They always do. That's what winners are. It's what we do, mate. And why can't we say the same thing for the men? The women's team, they are absolutely on fire. And, yeah, we saw everyone. We saw everyone coming out for this one. We saw all of the owners. We saw, most of the owners. We saw Begdad Bali in the stadium. We saw Todd Bowley in the stadium as well. Shaking hands with people after the game. And Sonia Bonpasta is really, she is, what a great appointment that's turned out to be. But also, when you don't mess around with everything and you try and keep that winning structure the same, there's no doubt that you're still going to have success. I mean, this is the whole thing, right? So it wasn't just Bowley and Degbali either. We also had what's his name? Alexis Ohanian, who's the guy who just invested 20 million in an 8 to 10% stake of Chelsea woman, to be specific. Interesting what he's come out and said as well. I mean, he's come out and said something really, really, really fascinating. Obviously, this isn't necessarily what you want to talk about in terms of football terms, but if this is the way football's going, then you want to be informed. Big up to Nathan. Big up to Harrison as well. They had absolutely nothing. Big up to Cam. Hope you're doing well, mate. Jessica, I hope you're doing well. Good afternoon to you. Well done to Chelsea Women, who says all they need to do is win the Women's Champions League. I feel like if there was a friendly between Chelsea men and Chelsea women, then the women would win. Fair. Not possible, bruh. Why wasn't I there? Because I was working, Wayne. I was working. Unfortunately, I had to work because I'm going to America and I'm going to Poland and I got to pay for that. So I had to work, I'm afraid. So I could not watch the final. Love watching the women win yesterday. Those girls are something else. Absolutely fantastic. They are the best of the best in terms of, that competition. And they've proven themselves, haven't they? They've absolutely proven themselves. And they deserve a lot of credit. There's no doubt about that. Now, interesting. I'll share my screen with you now. This is what Alexis Ohanian had to say regarding Chelsea. Now, I'm not going to read this particular quote because I'm going to actually go through the full thing with you. He was alongside his wife, Serena Williams, and his daughter. They saw Chelsea complete the domestic treble at Wembley yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Serena Williams she's one of the greatest female tennis players of all time. And so she's obviously married to Alexis Ohanian. This is what he had to say. He said, the queens of global soccer, Chelsea will become $1 billion franchise, according to the new co-owner, Alexis Ohanian. The Reddit founder has bought an 8 to 10% stake believed to be worth about 20 million in the domestic treble winners, an investment Chelsea manager Sonia Bonpasta called a game-changing endorsement. Ohanian, who is married to former tennis player Serena Williams, is no stranger to investing in women's football, having previously been the largest shareholder in American side Angel City FC until it was sold for $192.3 million in 2024. He has also founded a woman-only athletics event named Athlos. The American hopes his involvement will help the Blues become America's team and put them at the forefront of women's sport. He said, this is what he had to say. He said, Chelsea is very unique. These are the queens of global soccer, and they've got a trophy case to prove it. This is a very special club, Ohanian told BBC Sport. The 42-year-old was present at Wembley alongside his wife for the Women's FA Cup final against Manchester United, which Chelsea won 3-0 to complete the domestic treble without losing a match. Oh, my God. However, while they have been dominant domestically, they were knocked out of the Champions League in the semi-finals this season, beaten 8-2 on aggregate by holders Barcelona. The sky is the limit, continued Ohanian. You heard our president say this club is unapologetically ambitious. I want to get that tattooed on me. This is what we're trying to build here. The best team in the world and at the forefront of women's sport. This will be a billion-dollar franchise one day. I hope my dollars, my pounds can go towards that, and especially back home in America. This is going to be America's team. This is going to be America's team. And I mean, when you look at what they sold Angel City for, which was what, £192.3 million. I mean, if you're looking at it from a 10-year perspective, the growth, that's not even a 10x. That's like a 5x, whatever it is. 10 years. Do we think that the women's game in 10 years can 5x in value, or Chelsea women's specifically? If we're worth roughly 200 million, can we get up to £1 billion? $1 billion. Sorry, that's what he said in there. No. So that's what he said. He said this is going to be America's team. Sonia Bompasta says her side's victory at Wembley was the best way to welcome Chelsea's newest investor to the club. Ohanian was accompanied by Serena Williams and one of their two children at the final, and had the opportunity to meet Bompasta and her players for the first time since his investment was made public. On their meeting, Bompasta said, "It was really nice when I found out about the news. I was really excited for them to join the club. They were here to show their support. You can feel from the beginning they have the right mentality coming into Chelsea. This was the best way to welcome them with this game, this final, and this result. These people are so passionate about women and women's sport. It's so nice to have them around, enjoy it, and be with them in these moments." Before the final, Bompasta praised the potential impact of Ohanian's investment, stating it would not only support the club in terms of on-field ambitions, which include a Maidens Women's Champions League title, but would also make them a model for other teams. It just shows we are in a really great place, but we still want to be an even better team. We want to be one of the best teams in the world. That means results on the pitch, but also we want to be a model outside the pitch. We want to make sure that when young girls look at our team, they dream of being one of our players in the future. So that is what Sonia Bompasta had to say. This is by the BBC as well, so if you want to check that out, obviously you can. That was the BBC speaking about everything there. Let's have a look. The player who conceded the penalty had the cheek to complain. Typical United behaviour. Should do more for the channel for Chelsea ladies. Honestly, I would do it, but I am very limited with the amount of time that I can dedicate to the channel as it stands anyway. I mean, I am streaming roughly 2 hours a day, so I'm doing all right. And obviously we do all the match day stuff, but I work, guys. I have a job, and I don't do this full time, so it's not easy for me to fit it in, but I will try my best. I will. Afternoon, Tom. I hope you're doing well, mate. All Chelsea directors were there, even the new women's investors, and Radcliffe wasn't in attendance. Shows a lot about their ownership. Yes, very true. Oh, fucking hell, Wesley, mate. If you've got two spare tickets, I need spares. Genuinely need spares. I'll DM you. I'm not even joking. We need all the spares. Oh my God. I definitely need those. If you're giving them away, obviously I'll pay for them. I'll pay face value. That's unbelievable. Cam, you should have accepted that. So Lonely Nightmare. Here we go. Tell the missus the holiday is cancelled. Football comes first. But no, seriously, Wesley, please message me on Instagram. And I would absolutely take those tickets. I would absolutely take the tickets. I'll put my my Instagram in the chat, and I will absolutely. There's my tag there. I would absolutely take those Nottingham Forest tickets off you, and send me your bank details. Piggy says, "Hi Alex, if you could choose our striker for the last Premier League game, who would it be?" I mean, my obvious choice would be Nicholas Jackson, but if I had to choose someone off the top of my head based on who we have available, I'd have to go with Neto, because I haven't even seen Mark Guiu playing. It's very difficult for me to justify Mark Guiu when he's not been fit. I don't want to throw him straight into the spotlight. He's not experienced as it is. So it's got to be Neto for me. I know what I'm going to get from him. I know he's going to press. I know he's going to track back. He's going to make runs. All of the things that I need. The basics, really. But he does those basics so well. Yeah, his aerial ability could be slightly better. But yeah, we're a bit limited with options. We'll work with what we have, and then we can have wingers playing in and around him. Big up to Nehemiah. I hope you're doing well. Strip Bear says, simply amazing. Love for the ladies. Kurth Best was an actual monster. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, she did a fantastic job, didn't she? Tom said it's going to be a big Sunday. 5 teams all battling for the last Champions League spots. Yes, that's true. No updates on Mudryk as it stands. Do I still rate Mudryk? Yes. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think Mudryk could have helped us in a number of games. I'm not saying he would start every week for us, but he would help the team. So, yeah, no doubt in my mind that Mudryk would help us in that sense. No doubt whatsoever. I mean, looking at the game as well, I'll be honest, obviously, I only got to watch the sort of first 30 minutes or whatever. So I actually missed the goals. I missed all of the goals. Can you believe that? So as soon as I finished streaming, then I ended up missing that goal straight away. But I mean, if you look on the Adobe Women's FA Cup final highlights, it's already got over 200,000 views. Traction is at the end of the day. The women's game is certainly growing. I've been to two women's games. I've been to 2 women's games as far as I can remember. Both of those games were against Man City. One of them was the FA Cup final a number of years ago when Emma Hayes was our manager. And another one of the games was in at Stamford Bridge, and that was this season against Man City. But truth be told, for me, like, it's a different match day experience, isn't it? It's a different experience, and if you're trying to get anything similar to the men's, then you've got to be very, very careful what you're wishing for, because it's not the same experience, is it? But if you can appreciate something a little bit different, it's not as rowdy. Obviously, you probably have a lot more children at the women's games, I would say. Very, I wouldn't say PG, but like family friendly, isn't it? So if you're singing some of these chants at the men's game, which some would say is offensive, like celery, for example, you just wouldn't get away with that at the women's game. I've been told that there was a guy who basically did the celery chant, and I think he got banned or something like that. So you've got to be a little bit careful with what you say at those games. But ultimately, everyone's there just to have a good time and watch football. And I think if you're surrounded by young girls, you know, a lot of girls will be there because it is the women's game, then you got to carry yourself in a certain way as well. And that's just up to you, isn't it? But yeah, I think we can take nothing away from the performance. Baltimore obviously got the penalty in the first half. She went straight down the middle. That was a good goal. And I think from that point, as soon as we went 1-0 up, you would have pretty much said that we'd have it in the bag anyway. I mean, the United had a couple of sort of chances. They were over the bar, headers at the keeper. It's not like they didn't give it a go. I mean, they did try, but there's just a different, what's the word? It's just a difference in class. You know, this Chelsea women's team, they were winning titles before Man United even had a women's team. So to compare the two is it's like apples and pears, isn't it? It's totally different. And what Sonia Bonpasta has had the privilege of is taking over a women's team that ultimately was already a winning machine before she came, and she's just carried on that trend. We also scored a nice goal from a set piece. That was with Macario as well. Nice header to get in there. You know, another thing I noticed as well, why does Sonia Bonpasta she wears an AirPod? Is it an AirPod? Need to see as well. Yeah, she wears AirPods while she's watching the game. Like, is she having a chat with someone during the game? Has she ever spoken about that? I've never seen a men's manager off the top of my head wearing AirPods. But if you look at Sonia Bonpasta, I'll just show you what I mean briefly. Yeah, I'll share my screen with you now. Just have a look. She's wearing AirPods. Are you allowed to do that? Oh, she talks to one of the coaches via an AirPod. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, how does that work? Well, so she just stands on the sideline where her assistant's sitting on the bench or something? She listens to banging D&B while Ramirez is carving up defenses. Oh, that's quality. That's absolutely class. Both the men and women, yeah, we both beat United. It's good. It does feel good. It feels very good. 74,412 fans for the Women's FA Cup is good. The following has come on leaps and bounds. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I mean, it was reported that they would beat the men's team in terms of capacity, which I would have been very impressed with. Even 74,000, what they've got. I mean, that is impressive. Of course, it is. But I did see a lot of empty seats, and I thought, they probably haven't beaten the men in that sense. But again, there's different factors to consider as well, which is the pricing. I I think they're selling the women's tickets for what, £5-10. Some of them, they're not going for a lot of money. And then obviously the men's games, you'll have people paying hundreds, thousands even to go and watch some of those games. So that's the stage for the women that they're trying to get to, is first of all get people through the door, and then once they start filling up the stadiums as they are really, then they'll be looking to up the prices, and then you'll start paying slightly more excessive prices in order to go and watch those women matches. So I guess that's the business model, isn't it? I can imagine that's probably one of the things that Alexis Ohanian is probably looking at when he's seeing Chelsea ladies, is how cheap the tickets are, how accessible they are, but also the fact that we're able to fill up stadiums like Wembley and get 74,000 fans through the door, which is extremely impressive, no doubt about it. I don't know who sold more tickets out of Chelsea and Man United. I presume probably Chelsea did. We just seem to be a club that are very supportive of our women. And you can see that with the owners as well. I mean, at least we have all of our owners there. Jim Radcliffe didn't even turn up. I mean, that's not great. If you're an ambassador for Man United and you don't even turn up to that game, don't think that's great. Even if you're not interested, you've got to pretend. You got to just be there. Just make it seem like you do care, as opposed to just not rocking up whatsoever. So that's one thing. But yeah, it's I think it's a very good thing for the women's game to to be getting coverage. One thing that I will say is that if they continue to put the women's game in a position where it doesn't clash with the men, then you will get more people that want to watch this stuff. But if you're putting a Chelsea women's game at the same time as another Premier League match, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to attract new viewers, because you've already got people that are watching those games. That's one thing I would give credit for. It's, that they are getting a little bit better in terms of the timing of some of those fixtures. But that does eat into some of the men's games at times with regards to TV schedules. Maybe not with the women necessarily, but I mean, everything's being televised now. I think they said Sky has got 215 Premier League games next season. How many fucking games is that? How many teams does that cover? 215 divided by what? 38. That would cover 6 Premier League. Oh, you can't see my thing properly. So that would cover just under 7 Premier League teams every single fixture that they play. Every single one. So they are ramping up in terms of their TV productions, etc. But we are getting to the stage now where it is no longer acceptable to mess around with these fixtures when we know that the 3 o'clock kickoff is the best one. It's the best. I love a 12:30 as well, just on a personal level. I love a 12:30 kickoff, but a 3 o'clock kickoff is fantastic. And if we can continue to maintain 3 o'clock kickoffs and get them televised as well, oh, my goodness. I honestly think that will benefit everyone. And then what you can do is you can combine, and you can have a platform where fans are able to tune in to Chelsea, or even do something similar to what they do with the EFL anyway, which is just give yourself a choice. Press the red button and you got 3 games to choose between. And you can do that with the women as well. This season it was only 128, so it's 215 next season. I mean, I'll be honest, I actually pay for Sky. So as a Sky subscriber, I would say I'm quite happy with that. But watch them try and rise the price next season. And they will. They will. They'll push those prices up. They will push those prices up. I wish that we could literally just have a Sky Sports subscription. That's it. The only other thing I would say I use is Sky Atlantic. I can watch a couple of series on there. I watch The Sopranos, things like that. apart from that, I don't really watch TV. It's not really. I just that's it, sports, and that's it. Oh, so when we're talking about the AirPod that Sonia Bompasta was wearing, you're saying it's tactical, like how rugby use it when they have a coach up in the stands. That's fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Assistant up in the stands with a tactical view of formation. Fair. That's fair enough. What's the best game I've watched this season? The best game. Probably Tottenham away. That's got to be up there, hasn't it? I'm trying to think if there's anything that competes with that. Yeah, it's got to be Tottenham, hasn't it? Tottenham away, 4-3. I mean, that was a good one. That was a cracking game. Brilliant game to watch. Matthew Harding lower tickets for the Women's Champions League semi-final, £20. The Men's Champions League semi-finals in Matthew Harding last time was 62, and even 62 is quite cheap in a lot of ways for a Champions League game. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the model for the women. Is they need to start filling stadiums and making it as accessible as possible, and then from there, what they're going to do is they're going to push the prices up, and once the demand is there, they will start to increase prices. And I guess that's the model, isn't it? Is in 10 years, can you go from having a women's, semi-final ticket for 20 quid and maybe go up to 62, like what they did for the men's in 10 years' time? And then what would the price of a men's ticket be? 150. And this is probably, this is where the Americanization of football comes in, and they just drive those prices up, don't they? Milk every fan for what they can. It's harder to judge because there's sections of the women's final where you can sit in mutual stand as well. That's fair. Mark says, thank you for this podcast. Women's football is brilliant and entertaining. What a season for Chelsea. Up the Blues. Big up to you, Mark. Thanks for the kind message, mate. Appreciate it. Average fans have been priced out of the bridge. £160 for a single seat in the West Stand is a joke. Not enough tickets for members nowadays. And this is another reason I think why women's football is growing, is because it's actually affordable, unlike the men's game. And when I went to the Man City game earlier in the season, I did speak to a couple of people, and I said, what brings you down here? Why'd you come to the games? Do you go to the men's games? And they went, no, we only watch the women. That's all we do. And I go, okay, why is that? And they go, well, can't get tickets for the men's game. When I do get tickets, it's too expensive. It's not accessible. And the women's game, it's just pleasant, isn't it? It's just nice. They enjoy it. They want to go. They still get to support Chelsea. I mean, it's Chelsea women, Chelsea men, but it's all the same brand ultimately, under the same umbrella. And this is what people want. They want to be able to just go and watch their team. And the women's team gives you the opportunity a lot of the time to buy tickets probably on the day of the game, and still be able to rock up. Whereas you could never really do that for the men's game unless you're paying out of pocket. TNT Sports will televise roughly 52 Premier League games next season, but they'll obviously have the Champions League. That's where TNT will get a lot of their games. So they're doing a roughly, 1 or 2 games a week. How many games did they have this season? So they've got 52 now. Sky had 115, 128. What did TNT have? So I'm intrigued to know what that was. While we're going through that as well, a couple of updates regarding everything at the club at the moment. We've got to speak about some of the upcoming fixtures, what's going on. The pressure is absolutely on. We can see it here. This is the fixtures that we've got coming up on Sunday the 25th. Obviously, we're playing Forest. We've got Bournemouth taking on Leicester, Fulham, City. That's a big one for us. We need Fulham to pull out a result there. Bear in mind, City are also playing Bournemouth on the Tuesday. And I think that's this coming Tuesday, or is it the Tuesday? I think it's this coming Tuesday that they're going to play. Ipswich, West Ham, Palace, Liverpool, United versus Villa. We need United to do us a favour. Honestly, there'd be nothing better. I think that would be just fantastic if they can do that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I think most likely Villa will be getting the result in that game. And then we also need Everton to do us a favour and drag out some points against Newcastle at St James's. Obviously, they did drop points. Did they drop points? I'm sure Newcastle just dropped points. Who did they drop points to? Who did they just play? Arsenal. Yeah, they lost to Arsenal, didn't they? And that was massive for us. So that was massive. And then obviously we've got the big one: Forest versus Chelsea in Nottingham. I think we'd say we have a much more advantage if it was at Chelsea, but because it's in Nottingham, that's where we really need to drag it out. And those are the only relevant fixtures, really, the ones I've read out now. So that's where the table leaves us at this particular moment in time. Liverpool first on 83 points. Then we've got Arsenal way behind on 71. Newcastle on 66. They would have been on 69 if they would have beaten Arsenal. That's not going to be the case anymore. And then we've got we're obviously level on points with Newcastle and Aston Villa, but only 1 point in front of Man City and Nottingham Forest. So to put things into perspective, guys, we could potentially, this is all hypothetical because we don't know what can actually happen, but we could potentially go from where we are and finish third, which is a pretty decent season, if we're being honest. That's pretty good. Or we could finish seventh. And that is how tight this is. We could have Champions League football. We could have Conference League football. Obviously, we wouldn't have Conference League if we won the final against Real Betis. We'd have Europa League football, but nonetheless, a season finishing seventh is a clear regression on last season finishing sixth, even though we would finish on more points than we did last season, because we had 63 points at the end of last season. We're currently on 66. I think that if we had 66 points at the end and we finish seventh, fingers crossed we don't, I would put that down as a clear regression. To be honest with you, I would put that down as a clear regression. But listen, that's each of their own. You've got to obviously make your own mind up about these things. So Villa need to beat Man United. City have got 2 games. They've got Bournemouth and Fulham. In fact, to be fair, even if they win one of those games, they'd still be ahead of us. So technically, based on that, I'd put us in 5th. So really, we're looking at Villa. We're looking at Forest. We're looking at Newcastle. We are begging these guys to drop some points. Because I think City ultimately, having that game in hand, you would be surprised if they didn't pick up 6 points from those 2 games. Although I do think Bournemouth will give them a good game. And I do think Fulham will give them a good game as well. I think both of those teams can certainly challenge them. I'm not going to rely on City to bottle it. I'm not going to rely on that. But when I look at Nottingham Forest, that's a tough one. Villa, they've got an easy one. Newcastle, they've got Everton. I think they've got a pretty good track record against Everton, especially at home as well. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the case. Wagwan, Mr. Alex says, Donna Cullen. Good to see you in the chat, Donna. Mr. Alex, I'm really loyal. See, I even follow your Chelsea ladies show. Donna, you are 34 minutes late. Okay, actually, you said that, 44. You're 30 minutes late, Donna, for the show. 30 minutes. I already did my segment on the women's team. You've missed the women's segment. That is not loyalty, Donna. That is picking and choosing your moments. You can't just turn up for me for the last 30 minutes of a show. You got to rock up right at the beginning of the show. That's what I'm looking for here. That's not loyalty. Don't try and dress it up. Don't do that. You hope Chelsea gets 69 points a season. Don't we all? Don't we all? I hope we can do that. Tom says TNT this season and next season get 52 games, 18 cent pick games. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's 52. So it's 52 both seasons, basically. Already ordered the new Cuthbert shirt. That's brilliant. Well, big up to you, Strip Bear. Big up to you. That would be a nice shirt. 69 is Donna's favorite number. Oh, God. So, yeah, the Champions League race is going to be super close. Super close. Little update with regards to Enzo Fernandez as well. We found out, obviously, that he has been playing with a little bit of they've called it an illness. He has been playing with conjunctivitis. You can see his eye in this picture. The one on our left, his right, slightly closed. It says Chelsea midfielder Enzo Fernandez has played through conjunctivitis for the last 2 Premier League matches. The 24-year-old midfielder was seen playing with inflammation in his right eye in the 1-0 win over Manchester United, which he said impacted his vision in Friday night's win at Stamford Bridge. But Fernandez is understood to have started having symptoms a week before at Newcastle, although specifically asked to play in both matches. Fernandez highlighted the issue when posting photos on his Instagram account and said, "It was the last match at home with this group. That will give it all until the end. We have 2 finals left. Thank you to the fans for all the support, all the season. My first game playing with one eye. I don't understand why we played him if he had one eye. I mean, as long as he's able to see it, then like see what's going on. It's not really a problem. Yeah, it's basically pink eye, isn't it? But I just don't really see why you'd play him if it's that bad. But I presume, you can do it like that. Oh God, Donna, please. I can't put it on screen. Please, Donna. I'm going to ignore that. Turkish commentator said was speaking about Victor Osman, and his name is Umar Ondurol. He doubts if Victor Osman will perform in England. He said Victor Osman should go. They would hardly move in England or Italy. Turkish teams have very weak defense. They will score goals with ease. European teams know how to defend very well. I mean, Osman was also scoring goals in Italy as well. So I don't know if I'd necessarily say that he wouldn't perform in Italy, but England, you never really know what's going to happen, do you? You never know. So you have to. Oh no. Is Murillo back as well? They're saying that Murillo will be available for the they're saying that Murillo might be back. He came on for the second half for Nottingham Forest the other game. I'm so confused. What? Apparently he's going to be available, guys. That's mad. Man United's women's coach Mark Skinner had a couple of things to say after losing to Chelsea. He said, the kind of people that the people I kind of deal with every day, that's the people I need to be here. They need to see that for us to be able to look at what we need to do to close a growing gap in finance that Chelsea have. So I presume he's talking about the women's team and how heavily Chelsea are investing in the women's team. That's my biggest guess, but not entirely sure what he means. It sounds like a little bit of a subtle dig, if I'm totally honest, but each their own. Again, massive shout out to Chelsea woman, obviously rattling the Man United coach. Paul Merson had a couple of things to say about Chelsea as well. He said Chelsea are fourth. If they get beat, they could end up going seventh. I'd have to go with Newcastle safe because Everton haven't got a lot to play for. My worry is Man City. They've failed to score in the last two games. They've got Bournemouth coming up, and that is a dangerous game. So Paul Merson have got Newcastle definitely getting Champions League football as it stands. Jamie Redknapp said, I think Chelsea have got the toughest game to go to Forest. That's a really difficult game. It's going to be tight. Anything can happen. Also, we have a little bit of an update on Damac Properties, who are currently our front of shirt sponsor. They are going to be Chelsea's sponsor for a long time, but just not our front of shirt sponsor. But now, according to Ben Jacobs on the London Blue pod, sources that I speak to are not ruling Damac out of doing something for the front of shirt or maybe the training kit in the long run. It's not part of the existing deal, but they're not categorically ruling that out either. So it's something that is, they are having a conversation about it as it stands. They're obviously open to it, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. What I will say as well, guys, is a beautiful moment that I saw in Rome. Claudio Ranieri celebrating his last game with Rome at the Stadio Olimpico. They ended up winning 3-1 against I think it was AC Milan. This is what the fans did for him. It was absolutely beautiful. Have a look at this, guys. Wasn't that brilliant? They've got the sign up. It says Claudio Ranieri, and then I think it's got AS Roma there. But just a very nice gesture from the Italian fans for Claudio Ranieri. He's a legend of the game. He's a former Chelsea manager as well. If it wasn't for Claudio Ranieri getting us into the Champions League, there's a good chance Abramovich would have never bought the club. So we've got a lot to thank Claudio Ranieri for, also winning the Premier League with Leicester as well. This is a manager who's achieved so much in the game. He's so experienced. He's been to loads of clubs. I had a look at Watford the other day in the history of some of their managers over the past 10 years. Ranieri managed at Watford. He's managed smaller teams as well in Italy. I think he managed Sampdoria. Obviously gone back to Roma, taken that job. He's done a fantastic job since he's been back at Roma. I think that, honestly, quite frankly, he probably should stay. But if it's for personal reasons, he's stepping down, he wants to retire, and that's absolutely understandable. I mean, you can't criticize that, can you guys? Yeah. So, interesting. Looking at so this is the Man United manager who said that the Glazers are more involved in the women's team than Radcliffe. Jesus, that is mad, isn't it? That is absolutely mad. So Jim Radcliffe has no interest in the ladies, based on what's going on at Manchester United as well. Now, there's a few things going on here, guys. We've got to speak about some of the potential players that could be coming to Chelsea. We don't know if it actually will happen, but they could. One of those players is Dusan Vlahovic. We haven't heard his name much, so if I'm honest, I doubt that he would. But these are all names that potentially could be thrown around. Dusan Vlahovic is one of those players. He's obviously going to be probably leaving. He's going to be leaving Juventus. Another player is Ryan Cherky from Olympique Lyon. They confirmed that Ryan Cherky will leave the club in the summer, as the player announced over the weekend. He's ready for a new chapter. This is, again, another signing that I think Chelsea should consider, to be quite frank. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Cherky could offer something to this Chelsea team. Like, we're looking at young players who potentially have the opportunity to increase their value, right? That's what Clearlake like. They like it when players increase in value. This is a player who undoubtedly has a lot of ability. He just needs a chance to prove himself at the highest level, i.e. the Premier League. And I'm open to it, guys. I'm open to it. I'm pretty sure the price tag as well, it's a realistic price. We're not going to be paying 40, 50 million for this stuff, guys. We're not going to be doing that. So it's just not going to happen. Interesting as well. I've seen Alex Ohanian talking about Chelsea as well on camera. I didn't even realize we had this interview. Let's quickly watch it together.
To prove it, so I feel so humble. The queens of global soccer, and they've got the trophy case to prove it. So I feel so humbled. I mean, this is a very, very special club.
You talk about the trophy case there. They've had such a fantastic season. The potential treble could be completed today. With your investment, surely, though, they can get even better?
Oh, yes. The sky is the limit. And what I love about this club, you heard our president, Aki, saying this club is unapologetically ambitious. I want to get that tattooed on me. That is what we're trying to build here with Chelsea Women, not just to be the best team, but truly the best team in the world and at the forefront of all of women's sports. This will be a $1 billion franchise one day and beyond, and I hope my dollars, my pounds, can go towards that in a big way, and especially back home in America. This is going to be America's team.
So that's what he had to say. I mean, we already went through this article, to be fair, but that's actually hearing him saying the words himself. That's what he says. He says it's going to be America's team. Well, why can't it be Chelsea's team, England's team? Does it have to be America's team? But I understand what he means. I understand it. I get it. Another player we've spoken about is where is it? Liga. How do we think Strasbourg have gotten along? They did bottle it a little bit, if I'm honest, but still a very successful campaign from where they were to where they finished. They had a lot of players that really thrived throughout the season. This is the Ligue 1 team of the season. You know the team is thriving when you have just as many players from Strasbourg as you do from PSG. And again, we go back to Ryan Cherky as well. Very good ratings this season. 7.3 is decent. Really good. no doubt in my mind that we should be looking at bringing this guy in. It's not a priority, but I'm looking at Cherky instead of Jamie Gittins. I mean, fucking hell, guys. Is this even a debate? But Petrovic is in there. Andre Santos is in there. There's no surprise. But Diego Moreira as well as a left back. Can you believe that? I would have never expected that. But he's obviously been performing very well under the management of Liam Rosnier. And deserves a huge amount of credit. Every player from Strasbourg really to get them where they were from where they started. They're going to have a big building season next year as well because they will be without Santos and Petrovic, but Moreira will still be there. So I guess we're going to have to just hope that whoever comes in can try and fill those boots. Do I think Greenwood would be welcomed back by a big Premier League club? Probably not, to be honest with you, just because of his reputation. I think that I don't think it would happen. No, I don't think it would happen. But from a footballing sense, I mean, he's fantastic, isn't he? But unfortunately, this goes past a footballing conversation. This is it's about moral values. So no, I do not think that any other top Premier League teams or any Premier League teams as it stands really would do it. I mean, maybe a lower side, but why would he want to go to a lower side when he's at Marseille anyway? He seems to be having a good time in France. So I just don't understand why that would be his decision. I'm not really sure. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. In terms of Nkunku as well, yes, you're absolutely right. I saw this earlier. According to The Sun, Arsenal, Man United, PSG, Liverpool, West Ham and Atletico Madrid are all keen on signing Christopher Nkunku in the summer. I mean, this is a guy that, I think that we really could have got something out of this player. We chose not to try and build this team around him. That was the manager's prerogative. If there's one thing I will criticize Maresca for, I've criticized him for a lot of things. I think his management of Nkunku has been poor, but I also think Nkunku's reaction to the way he's been used has been poor as well. So you can criticize both sides. So he obviously came to Chelsea for £52 million from RB Leipzig 2 years ago. He's pushing for an exit, but it's not a one-way street. Chelsea are absolutely happy to let him go. And so they say there's 6 clubs battling it out. And the Sun Sport can reveal that London rivals Arsenal are among those lining up a move for Nkunku. I just want to say this right now. We cannot let Nkunku go to Arsenal because he will perform at Arsenal. He will be a starter for Arsenal. He will score a lot of goals for them as well. I don't want to see it. Man United, not as bothered, to be quite frank, but I still think he'll perform for them. They did make a move for the player during the January transfer window. They're obviously looking to go back for him. Ruben Amorim is a huge admirer of the player and believes his Premier League experience makes him a superb option for his Old Trafford rebuild. Liverpool also apparently like Nkunku due to his versatility and previous goal record at Leipzig, where he hit 58 goals in his final 2 seasons. And this is one of the reasons I've been very defensive of Nkunku, is because if you can bang those kind of numbers, you're obviously a bloody good player. But there's a little bit more than just goals. This is about effort and commitment. And that is where there's a real doubt from the Chelsea fan base about Nkunku. And I think that's probably part of the reason that he's not played as much under Enzo Maresca compared to a player like Nicholas Jackson, for example. West Ham are also apparently interested in the player. Graham Potter identified Nkunku as a star target. Again, take it with a pinch of salt, guys. It's the Sun that's saying this, but that's what they're saying. There's also interest from PSG, who are monitoring developments as well. They are believed to be big admirers of Nkunku and think he could be the perfect addition to the stunning style of play that Luis Enrique has create. Atletico Madrid are also interested, but I don't think there's any real truth to that, if I'm honest with you. I don't see they're saying Alvarez could leave Atletico Madrid. I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's going to happen. No chance. Absolutely no chance. Obviously, Nkunku's had a frustrating season, hasn't he? He's going to go. Just 7 of his 22 starts this term have come in the league. With Nkunku, instead, he's a regular in the Conference League and the domestic cups, which is a big slap in the face considering he was always meant to be the main man at Chelsea when he was signed. I think the best case for Chelsea is that you let him go to PSG or abroad. If you don't get that luxury, let him go to West Ham, let him go to United. Do not let this guy go to Arsenal. I don't think that Liverpool are really interested in this player either. I think that's not true. I don't think he suits what they're doing. But hey, we'll have to wait and see what happens. If you look at his stats over the course of this season, he's been involved in 27 games, created 14 chances, scored 3 goals, got 2 assists, 12 shots. Fucking hell, he's had more goals than that. It's not even accurate. 3 goals, 2 assists. He scored way more than that. That just destroys any credibility that this article had. What a load of nonsense. Don't believe that. What a load of nonsense. Yeah, but he's not. Has he played 27 times in the Premier League? I don't think he has. I don't think he's played 27 times. I think they said he played 22 times. Is it? Or is that just for the Prem? Ah, fair. All right, fair enough. Fair play, fair play. Listen, as far as I'm concerned with Nkunku, that ship has sailed. I like Nkunku. I think he's a good player. But, yeah. That is... yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Is there anything else? Yes, there is. Okay. Feyenoord's general manager Dennis to on Chelsea's, I don't know how do you say that, Dennis to close there on Chelsea's interest in left back Clinchley Hartman. He said no, because if they have reported to him, they have not reported to us yet. Last year, that was, of course, a story that was discussed. Ultimately, that changed with the injury. He is an incredibly valued force with us. And as a person, I also value him very much. But he has to reach a certain level to take that next step. So I'll be honest, I've never heard of this left back before. So don't really know what else to say. Apart from that, guys, I think that's the majority. I mean, Morgan Gibbs-White, he said coming up to the Chelsea game, so we were playing Nottingham Forest on Sunday. He said we'll plan this week how we're going to go into the game against Chelsea, but we'll be fighting. That's the majority, to be honest with you. I mean, we've pretty much ran through most of the stuff. I think the most relevant thing today is the women's team. I think they've been fantastic. I think they deserve a lot of credit. Big up to Sonia Bompasta. Big up to everyone that competed and was a part of that result. I think you've got to give credit where credit's due. Even if you're winners and you expect to win, I think there's also a level of, can you maintain that? And we've absolutely maintained it. So massive shout out to the women's team. And yeah, thank you, Marcus. He says, great to you give a shout for the women's team that made history. Amazing season. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. So hopefully the channel can do more to do with the women's game. Like, I'd love to do more. But at the same time, yeah, we've got to make sure that it's sustainable as well. So I will try my best to try and get the channel involved more with that stuff, but we've got to make sure we can actually do it. Really appreciate your time, guys. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well, and we will catch up very, very soon. All the best, guys, and speak soon.